And there's still time, as long as our hearts are beating, to attempt to reach common ground and to attempt to right some wrongs along the way. That doesn't make us bad people, and it doesn't make us guilty. It just makes us empathetic and wanting to leave the world in a better place than we found it.
Now, Bob, let's go back to your expertise. Looking forward to the NFL season. You know, this is not going to go away anytime soon. Hopefully we have an NFL season. I anticipate they play in some form. But earlier, before the interview in our open, we played a little clip of NFL players. It was Michael Thomas, Patrick Mahomes, OBJ, Zeke Elliott. These guys are making demands in the NFL, asserting their right to peacefully protest. How do you see this playing out in the fall, or maybe it's the winter? I don't know. Whenever the league returns, how do you see this playing out?
Probably not real well. If I may take a wild guess, I saw this in 2017, like you guys did, and it got politicized, and again, it was quickly smeared to not being about what it was about, but to make professional athletes look like fools, and to politicize it for personal benefit of administrations and so forth. But I look at the NBA and I always wonder how can they sport that is more affected by race than any sport on the planet. The NBA is absolutely at ground zero of social causes and of ethnic makeup and you name it. And somehow their commissioner and their owners are willing to extend a hand to their superstars and say, if it matters to you guys, it matters to us. And they find common ground, and they find a way to, A, not demonstrate during the national anthem, but B, comfortably get their messages out loud and clear to anybody who watches the product. There is no mystery how the NBA feels on these very same topics. And the NBA endorses their message and also endorses a reasonably respectful national anthem that will not easily confuse citizens, evidently. And the fact that the NFL can't find that same common ground is probably a reflection of the way the owners and, yes, the commissioner is willing to treat their superstars and their important members as partners rather than employees. And I think you can really see that disconnect. The NBA treats LeBron and Kawhi and those players as partners. Maybe not exactly equal, but very close. And in the NFL, it's like, dude, shut up. I'm paying you to play football. You're scaring away our customers. Knock it off. I'd like to think that this second time around they will get a mulligan, but I also know, the NFL is very responsive to the president's wishes, and I know it's an election year, and I know that he certainly feels very strongly about division helping him succeed, and therefore I fear greatly what NFL season will be like, because I certainly love that sport, love that league, and hate when it becomes ground zero for screaming matches amongst the patrons.
Bob, like I mentioned earlier, you're active on social media, and we for sure want to thank you for this time. But for our listeners who want to connect with you on social media, want to learn more about you, maybe read some of your stuff, how can they get a hold of you?
It's at SportSturm, SPORTS STURM, and please understand that I'm certainly not looking for enemies. I just think it's time for us to try a different route. We've been running into the same dead ends as a society for way too long. And maybe if we employ empathy and understanding, and yes, maybe even compromise once in a while, maybe we'd get somewhere. We're too good a country for this.
Well, thanks again, Bob. We want to, continue the conversation. We want to, encourage you as you keep going through this. We want to talk to you again. This is Shawn Williams, Ryan Trimble, Deconstructing Dallas. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back, Deconstructing Dallas. Ryan Trimble, Shawn Williams. Shawn, really enjoyed that conversation with Bob. It really it made a difference to me. It's good to hear. Hey, look, I am a white male Christian, Republican, fairly conservative, and it's interesting here, and it's good to see a guy like that who has a platform speak his mind. It takes some courage, and was glad to hear it. I think it's really important. We've had some faith leaders on during this series, and so faith is going to play a big role in this moving forward.
Yeah, I commend Bob for jumping in this arena because people do not want to hear it. People do not want to hear that they've been privileged. They do not want to hear that they started out on third base, which I believe is an analogy that he used. And they do not want to hear how bad it is. They don't want to hear how bad the history is. And so, I think before it can be healed, people have to accept it. And that's part of what Bob is trying to get people to do. And I definitely commend him for it.
Yeah. So a big thanks again, Bob, and encourage everybody to go and listen to the segment in the episode notes.
Absolutely. I echo Ryan's sentiments. I want to thank Bob Sturm. I want to thank Donovan Lewis for helping us to book Bob Sturm. I want to thank all of our colleagues at Allen Media. I want to thank our owners, Mary Woodleaf. I want to thank Jennifer Pascal. I want to thank everybody who has helped make this series a success, because we keep hearing from folks. But that doesn't mean that you are off the hook. Our listeners, we thank you, and we want you to share this with your friends, with your families. We want to share this on your social media platform. We believe that these are messages that everyone needs to hear, talking about racism, talking clearly, talking constructively, but speaking the truth. And that's what we feel like we're getting, and that's what we want. So please continue to push this to your folks. We want to thank Michael Zavala and MZ Studios, who have been expertly producing these episodes. It has really, really helped. So for Ryan Trimble, this is Shawn Williams, Deconstructing Dallas. Adios.